I was sitting out there in the shed one evening, not doing too much of nothing, just kind of staring at the wall. And
1975 Goldwing. The 76 and 77 is also going to be exactly the same way. I'm going to try to make this as short and concise as possible. So here we go, taking the carburetors off. First you want to get into this compartment, open this up, pull this tray out. This one has a couple wires attached to it, I'll get those unplugged. Okay, you got these two knobs, these thumb screws in here. Take both these out, that'll take the side panels off. This one don't have the hinge pins in it, so I'm just going to set it to the side. Take the nut off the air cleaner top. Go ahead and remove the air cleaner top. Alright, down inside there's two 10mm screws. There's one there and one there. Take those two bolts out. I've done this a few times today because I built a 4-in-1 exhaust system for this, and I've been tuning the carburetors. So I believe this is probably the best time that I can show you how to take this apart because it's all fresh in my mind and I can be direct about it, I guess you could say. Alright, go ahead and pull the air filter out of the way. Pull this box, the air box up at an angle like this. There's a hose attached back there, you'll have to get that undone. Mine just came apart as I pulled on it. Wiggle that guy up and out of there. Careful not to damage these weather strips. I could have done that more elegant. Wrestle that thing out. You see right here, that's where one of the hoses connect to. Go ahead and turn the fuel off. Right, I'm going to go ahead and put this back up and put the thumb screw back in it. Get that out of the way. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to undo the fuel line from this side. Some gas is going to leak out of there, don't worry about that, it's only $4 a gallon. Okay, while I'm here I'm going to go ahead and pull these two spark plugs. Get them out of the way, just so they don't get tangled up in anything. And do the same thing over here. I'm going to pull these two spark plugs out. Spark plug wires, I should say. Get them out of the way. I'm going to loosen these two hose clamps. Alright, right here in the center of the screen, that's the air cutoff. We have to remove that. There's two screws. There's one right there and one right there. Not the two on top, not this one or this one. This one and this one. There's two O-rings on the bottom of this. Make sure you collect them. Okay, once you get this removed, set that aside. You can see there's two O-rings on the bottom. Don't lose these. Go ahead and loosen these two hose clamps here. And take out these 4 intake bolts. Go ahead and remove these two intake manifolds. Don't mix them up. You don't want to put this one here or that one there, so just keep them separated and know which one goes where. Give it a twist and pull. If that's the first time you've had these off and they haven't been off in years, they're probably going to be stiff. Okay, now I'm going to pull the carburetors out of the other two intake boots. If you have to, come on this side with a little pry bar and gently pry the carburetors out. Okay, now you can pull the carburetors out this side of the bike. I'll just set them on my lap right here and I'll get all the cables undone. So the choke cable. Undo the clamp, pull this cable off. Okay, 10mm wrench, loosen up the cable, slide that off and around. Same thing for the push cable. Loosen this up. Don't drop the carburetors. Pull your cable down around this way, pull it right out of the throttle lever. And that's it, carburetors are off. And once you've made your adjustments and you're ready to put it back in, you just do it exactly backwards. Not hard at all. Start with the push cable, tuck it behind that linkage there, wrap it around, hook it in that, make sure it gets in this groove on this throttle wheel, slip it in there, grab your pull cable, pull on it, hook it in the throttle wheel. It's going to be a little tight, so you got to kind of force it back. You have this washer, got to get that behind the hook, slide it up in there and you got to align it correctly. You'll see the contour of it there, and tighten this cable up. Choke cable. It's easier if you just pull the choke up with your hand on the lever right there, and then slip that in its eyelet, slide it under the clamp, let it go. Gotta get this positioned just right. I forgot my Phillips screwdriver. Now slip these in under the frame, line them up with the other intake boots over there. You can see right down through here. Alright, you're going to have to push pretty hard, forcibly shove these carburetors into the intake boots on the other side. You may have to hold the bike. Okay, go ahead and put these intakes back on. Make sure your O-rings are still in place. Tighten these evenly. Okay, now probably the trickiest part of these carburetors, putting them back on, is this air valve. Make sure your O-rings are in place. You got a vacuum hose you got to put on this nipple. It's going to reach in the side of the bike above the carburetors and grab that hose and try to slip it onto that nipple. You can put a little grease on these O-rings. That'll help hold them into the valve while you install this thing. Just a little bit. If you put too much in there, it'll clog things up. So just a little bit of grease. I know it's almost impossible for me to film this so you guys can see it, but you just gotta hold your mouth just right. Stick your tongue out to the left a little bit. Find the screw holes. Alright, that's pretty much the hardest part. Get that all together and then you can start putting the airbox back in. Okay, you want to start with the seal. The seal has a couple ears on it. They correspond with the slots or tabs or whatever in the airbox. So the airbox goes in this way, like that. And the tabs are on the right side of the bike. So you want to slide this down on the intake, make sure that seats down all the way around with these tabs to the right side of the bike. Okay, you got to get this thumb screw out of the way, so just flop that open, set that down. Get your long needle nose pliers again. There's a hose right there that's got to slip onto that nipple right there. Just reach in here with your long needle nose pliers, grab that hose, and slip this guy in. And as you get it close down here, you can push that hose up onto that nipple. Why, Honda? Why? Alright, once you've wrestled that thing on there, make sure you don't have any cables or anything in the way. Slide this airbox down on top of that rubber seal. And tighten these two bolts back down. You don't have to go monkey 200-pound gorilla on these, just get them nice and snug. Air filter. Airbox lid has an arrow on it that faces to the forward. I hope this helped you out. Thanks for watching.